Yeah, there was a time when I was living, outside Los Angeles. This is a while ago, and I was pretty much just holed up in a motel. Just one of those old clapboard, ratty motels, you always see on this from the side of the highway. And God, I was just in there for days, and I just wouldn't come out. And I just got used to being holed up, and it would make me nervous to go out. And it was kind of a bad area anyway, so I had good reason not to go out anyway. But one night I remember, I don't know what had come over me, and I just thought, that's it. I can't take it anymore. And I just walked out the front door. It was, I don't know when it was, midnight, 1 o'clock. I don't know, I had kind of lost track. But I thought, what the hell, I'm not going to be scared no more. I'm just going to go out. And I just walked out. And I remember just walking across the parking lot, and there were all kinds of just scary folks in the parking lot. And you can imagine a place like that, half in, half out of their cars, and fighting and drinking and smoking and doing whatever. And I remember I just walked through. It's like I was in a trance. And I thought, I'm just not going to be scared anymore. And some of them looked at me, and some of them were walking toward me, but I just kept walking straight through the crowd, and no one did anything. And eventually I walked into the darkness, and I was up on a sort of a dark dirt hill, and on the other side there was a little gully. And I walked into the gully and it kind of arched around, and next thing you know, there were all these lights, and it was smoke and dust and green and red lights and flares and fire, and the people were laughing, and there was music, and they were on either side of the gully. There was some kind of party or a fair or something, that kind of like you would see in a Mexican village up in the mountains somewhere. And I remember just not really looking to either side, but just I could see them in my eyes. And I kept walking along, and people had like little marionettes and puppets and sticks and with ribbons on them, and singing songs and drinking and laughing. Every so often I'd see hands reach out at me, but I just kept walking on. And I must have looked the sight. I hadn't bathed in I don't know how long, and my hair was all ratty. I'm sure it didn't smell too good. But I just kept walking through that crowd, and part of me wanted to be a part of the fair and laugh like the other people were laughing, and the other part of me just wanted to keep going. And I listened to that part, and I kept going. And eventually it was quiet, and I come up out of the gully, and there was a little stairwell that led up out of the gully to the side of a building. And as I got to the side of the building, all of a sudden the doors just burst open, and this church was letting out. And I never even knew there was a church nearby. And the church just opened, and all these women, in their middle-aged black women, and just dressed up and coming out of the church, all laughing and clapping and talking, and some even singing. And I just kind of got caught up in the crowd as they walked by, and some of them saw me, and I remember some put a hand on my shoulder, and I just kept going with them, and I just got caught up in this river of giant women walking out of the church. And eventually they all went to their cars, and I found myself sort of spilled out onto the state highway. I think it was the state highway. There were a few lights on that part of the state highway, but not very many. And I thought I could get killed here if a truck was coming down and didn't see me, if I was between the street lights. But I just kept walking because I just didn't care anymore. I didn't want to be afraid. And I just kept walking and walking, and that was about it. I don't remember what happened the rest of that night. Yeah.